Yo, what's up? It's your boy 12 Kyle, the OG, back with another episode of Dead End Sports 365. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure that you check out Dead End Sports every Tuesday and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So check this out. With the NBA All Star game coming upon us, um, I decided to do something different. What I'm doing on this podcast is I'm going to give to you my all time NBA All Stars teams list. What I did was I compiled an All Star team from the East, an All Star team from the West. And these are the all time All Stars. So what you're going to have is you're not going to have a guy who's made the NBA All Star team once or twice, or maybe five times. Everybody that made my teams, with the exception of one person, has made at least 10 All Stars. And what I want you guys to do, instead of jumping in the comments section and telling me, oh, well, why didn't you pick this person? Or why didn't you pick this person? What I want you to do is give me your all-time All-Stars team. I want the East and the West. If you want to do a first team and a second team, that's cool. If you just want to do a first team for both sides, that's cool too. So what I'm about to do is drop it on you. All right. So here we go. This is my team. This is the team I've selected, my own personal choice. My starting, well, you know what? Let's start with the bench first. Bench at point guard from Detroit, the Pistons, super guard Isaiah Thomas. Shout out to Beasley because I know that's his guy. So Isaiah's coming off the bench at point for me. At the two guard, Ken's best friend, Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat. At the three, one of the coldest small forwards I've ever seen in my life, Larry Joe Bird from the Boston Celtics. At power forward, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game, Bird's teammate, Kevin McHale. And at the center position, starting at center, coming off not starting, but coming off the bench for my Eastern Conference All-Stars, I've got the legend, Bill Russell. All right. So that's the bench, right? So let's move to the starters. Starting at point guard from Philadelphia, Allen Iverson, a.k.a. Bubba Chuck, one of my favorite players of all time. Starting at two guard. I mean, hey, my favorite player of all time, Michael Jeffrey Jordan from the Chicago Bulls. Starting at small forward, LeBron James, because he played in the East. Most of his time he played in the East. Starting at power forward from Philadelphia, Charles Barkley. Starting at center, a little controversial here, Wilt Chamberlain, Philadelphia 76ers. All right, so now you have the bench and the starters from the East. Now we move to the West. Coming off the bench at point guard, arguably the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. He's been to 8 All-Star games. Everybody else that I've named has made at least 10 All-Star games. Two guard, Clyde the Glide Drexler from Portland. At the small forward, he was a key member of the Showtime Lakers, big game James Worthy. At power forward, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game from the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. I know some of you remember him from Boston, but he spent most of his prime years in Minnesota. And starting at center, Laker great Shaquille, Rashawn O'Neal. Right? So that's my West Conference bench. Okay. My Western Conference All-Stars, starters. At point guard, the greatest point guard to ever play the game, Earvin Magic Johnson. At the two guard, one of the greatest Lakers of all time, rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant. At small forward, Kevin Garnett. At the power forward, arguably the greatest power forward to ever play the game, San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan. And I'm taking, when I said Kevin Garnett, I'm taking MVP Kevin Garnett, which was the OKC, and then he went to Golden State. He spent most of his time in the West, so he's a Western Conference guy. Tim Duncan at the power forward, Kevin Garnett at the small, Kevin Durant at the small forward. And at center, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that's my Western Conference team. All-star super team. So there you have it. I'll read it to you again. You can take a picture of it, write it down, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong or where you would put. But I want everybody who comments to tell me who they would put on their teams. So again, in the West, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are the starters. Off the bench, Stephen Curry, Clyde Drexler, James Worthy, Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal coming off the bench. In the East, starting Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Charles Barkley, Wilt Chamberlain. Off the bench, Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Bill Russell. Now, if I've named some players that you've never seen before, never heard of before, go ask your father or grandfather or your uncle or your mama. Yeah, ask your mama. Your mama probably know. Anyway, there's only a handful of people that probably will watch this video that actually know or actually saw some of these older players play. And if you can't find anybody that saw Bill Russell play, go ask Ken. He was there. That's going to do it for me. Make sure that you check out my podcast, the 12 Kyle Podcast. The podcast drops on all platforms every Thursday at midnight. From time to time this year, we'll be dropping bonus episodes on Sundays at midnight. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter at 12 Kyle, the number 12KYLE. Also, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ spell it out, TWELVEKYLE. That's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of Dead End Sports 365. I'll catch you guys next time. 5,000.